Alright, today I'm talking about faith and, sorry, today I'm talking about faith and trust in God. We gotta live with that, and it just betters us and our personality, our character, our integrity, our self-esteem, and living with confidence in doing so. So, the whole point about it is that, over and over in the Bible they talk about people that they trust and put all their trust into God, and they put all their faith into God. And it's always been a hard, difficult task to do, but they've always have done it because it's the right thing to do, and it helps build men of integrity, men of confidence, and good men of God, and women of God too. And the whole thing is that God loves us no matter what anyways, but we should do right by Him. And He gave us the free will to go ahead and choose to do so. He's not making us do it, but He wants us, and He enjoys seeing us put our faith into Him and our trust into Him. Because even though we call our father or mother our father and mother, God's our creator, and He takes very, very much joy into seeing us do well, and praising Him and living to His standards. And He knows the best for us. And in the Bible it tells us over and over that He has a love for us that's everlasting, and it's beyond what we can even imagine. Like the fatherly love, the motherly love, He has even beyond that kind of understanding for us. And if you look into Jeremiah 1:5, it says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations." Now that was to Jeremiah, that He appointed him as a prophet. But just because He's talking to Jeremiah right there, that doesn't mean He's not talking to us, because He has a plan for each one of us, regardless if it's to be a prophet or to be a minister, or if it's just to be able to speak to your friends about it and save one more soul. So each of us have a plan no matter what it is. You always got to remember that He knows us, and He's already put a path before us for us to live on and do that kind of work that He wants us to do. Now Jeremiah, he was a young adult, right? Young children or child, and he wasn't very educated. He wasn't very good with words. He had some fear, but you know what he did have? He did have some faith, and he had some trust in God too. He knew that God was going to protect him. And right after that one, in Jeremiah 1:6, he said, "Ah, sovereign Lord, I said, I do not know how to speak, and I am too young. But the Lord said to me, do not say I am too young. You must go to everyone I send to you, and whatever I command you, say that. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you and will rescue you, declares the Lord." So He says, just do what I ask you to do, because no matter what, I'm always there with you. I'm always right there next to you. I have you. You're my child. I'm going to take care of you. And then again, just to remind Jeremiah, again later on in that same chapter, in verse 19, He tells them, they will fight against you. They will not overcome you, for I am there with you, and I will rescue you, declare the Lord. So again, He's just reassuring that fact that, just put your trust into me, put your faith into me, because I will always be there with you no matter what goes on in your life. And it's encouraging to know that just that little bit of faith and trust in Him, He'll always be with you no matter what you do. And even if you don't have that with Him, He's always still going to be there, because He has that love for you because you are His child. In Hebrews, it describes faith. In Hebrews 11:1, it says, "Now faith is being sure of what we hope for, and being certain of what we do not see." And then again in Peter, chapter 1, verse 8, it says, "Though we have not seen Him, you love Him. And even though you do not see Him now, you believe in Him. You are filled with His inexpressible and glorious joy." It just kind of, it fills that need for you. Everyone has a need and a want to be happy in life. And when you have that kind of relationship with God that's built like that, you have that confidence, and it helps you enjoy life better and live it to the fullest in a healthy way. The amount of that just, it brings you joy, and it brings joy to others, because your personality will reflect that to others, and they'll want to get to know like what's going on with you. Why are you so much happier than I am right now? And you can tell them, it's through Christ, and it's through my relationship with God that I had this faith and trust that everything's going to always work out and be okay. And it brings people closer. It makes them, it attracts people to what kind of life you're living. So and then the whole point is to also remember to trust in God, because see, along with that faith, we have to have trust in Him. And it tells you in Psalms 118:8 to take refuge, or it says, it is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in human beings. And it doesn't say not to trust in human beings, but it says to put Him first. That's the whole thing. Is our number one goal is to put God first and then others. So when He says right there is to put put your trust in Him first, and not rely on human beings, because ultimately He's the main focus. He's the one that's not going to let you down. Humans can sin all the time. God doesn't sin like that. So put your faith and trust into Him. When you have your pops and your mom, you can love them, you can cherish them, you can trust them. Put your faith into them. Remember, main focus in life is to honor Him and cherish Him, because we want to go into eternal heaven with Him and be right with Him. And then, if you could skip over to Psalms 119:105, it's just a way to kind of guide your path in life. It says, your word is a lamp unto my feet and a light for my path. Because He wants to give you direction. He wants you to follow His will. And He's going to make that as obvious as He can for you. You might throw a little bit of curveballs into your past or your life, and you're going to be like, what the heck's going on here? But it's because He's trying to guide you back to the right path. He wants you to see the light and follow His way, not do whatever you want to do. So I encourage you to kind of just pray about it. Always keep your faith with Him, your trust with Him. Remember that He's always there by your side. And He's never going to let go of you. He's not going to just be like, oh, you've let me down, Jose, or you let me down, person. It's just, He's always there for you. He loves you. He's always forgiving. Always keep the faith and keep the trust with Him. And He'll always take you and guide you.